Hi, welcome to devlog number 6. My name is Jonathan Haile. I'm a game design student, and this is the documentation of my game SimSolver. This first update here is going to be pretty quick and clean. I've just been working on the spell menu. The attribute menu was always a thing. I've made some slight color changes to it since the last devlog. It's not important, but so that's always been a thing. But now I have the spell menu. So look at the right. It's not fully done or functional yet, but like the bones of it are there, and it's like displaying. Let me go to full screen on here. It was a tizzy to actually like get these both to display at the same time, like evenly. There's like overlapping, and because how I'm displaying this like was really easy, or you can't see what I'm pointing to, can you? How I displayed the attributes is really easy on the screen, but then like the abilities had to be like I was trying to just do like the inverse of it, like the negative, so it's on the opposite end, but like it was like going up the screen and weird sizing. The size moves off. Doesn't matter. I'll show you what I did to fix it. But now we have this ability system, which will be how you unlock all your skill points. Or no, so that's not right. It'll be how you unlock all your offensive and passive spells and be able to equip them. Also, now when you open up the spell menus and ability menus, it pauses the game. Um, because that was an issue, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not doing multiplayer games. It doesn't make sense for it to like keep on running in the background and you get hit while you're trying to just level up. So I paused it. But any Hoosers, let me actually show you some of the pieces of it. New folder here, spell menu. So it's created like this locked button widget to show like the unlock spells will also be swapped out when you unlock the actual spells. Um, um, where am I looking at here? Hello? Spell menu. Duh. Okay. So yeah, just a lot of UI stuff took forever, but just recreating what I have on the overlay for the spell menu. So right here, see in the corner here, just a lot of boxes, wrap boxes, text, all the rest. Looks a little bit like a penis. Gonna be honest, didn't really. It's fine. It's okay. Um, so yes, that's that piece, and then there's this piece, kind of like showing all the skills connected, like as you link up. Just like these are just simple images, like a line image. I'm just using that block spell icon here. The passive stuff right here, and then kind of piecing it all together in this actual menu, which I'm calling. Like I said, it's not fully done because it's like the description of each spell that you have. That will be the next update, hopefully. But it's working. I had to like readjust all the spacing and padding because it was just working weird, and I had to create a separate button widget for this menu because the text on the other one's too large. Just looked off. Or not button widget. A whatever this is with the 99. The what is it called? Um, frame value actually. We should move that frame value into here, the spell menu, because it's a part of that, not the attribute menu. Yes, anyways, so on here, uh, this is just making the X button work. Not that crazy on that construct. Bind event on clicked, get the X button, or get the closing out button, I mean. Uh, Connector right there, on click, remove from parent. The real complicated stuff gets into the overlay and how this is all working. Um, I cleaned it up so it's not as crazy. Like up here, I cleaned all this up, which this is already done beforehand, but it's like setting widget controllers, uh, all that stuff. I just made it a little bit easier to look at. So like this is handling the message widget, like when you pick up a potion or whatnot, and then like the level up message right here. Again, just making so it's a little bit cleaner. There we go here, and this was the complicated thing that looks more simple now. So this is how I've always been adding the spell menu, or not the spell menu, the attribute menu. Um, Create attribute menu. If that, this is now like the pause stuff I had to set, like is the attribute menu open? So set and enabled, create the blueprint, play a controller, add the viewpoint, viewport, set position right here. And this was like a hard coded thing. That's where I wanted to be. This was easy. It got more complicated here when I had to do the exact same thing on the spell menu. So starts off the same. Oh, wait, oops. That's supposed to be connected. Oops. That was okay. There was an issue with like it pausing, but now it should be working. I was like, I need to figure out how to make it work better because it's like not pausing correctly. But that was the reason why. So there's that. But anyway, so same thing right here. You get the play controller, but then it started getting weird, like the math and like the alignment. So I had to get the viewport size. I played with these values until it works. So it's negative 0.1 and then 0.3, multiplying that. We're setting the menu here. And then we're setting the spell menu, and then we set the position and viewpoints, and the position is multiplied by the viewport size. Then I have to set the alignment in the viewports, and then set the anchors in the viewports, and then add the viewport finally, and set the minimums. Long way of just saying it's working now. So there's that, which is pretty cool. And then in here, this is all just like the logic for making sure that the game gets paused. So right here on after menu close, that pause game. Getting some more. Hold on. I'm getting lost in my own blueprints here. And so this is how it closed. Like so this is how I'm telling it's closed, spell menu closed, set is enabled, and then having it the spell menu open is false, and then branching and attribute menu open and set game pause is false. Just blue nodes and spaghetti and whatnot. Just doing a very simple thing. But yes, so now it should all be working. So now I don't want to double check. We'll just see if the game's paused by his little tail there. If it's not moving, then we'll. So you can see I also can't move. There's no input. The game's paused like this. All I can do is select these buttons, close out. Game goes back. Open up the attribute menu. He's paused again. I'm paused. Fireball's paused. As you can see, can't move, can't do anything, but I still can't touch these buttons. Close it, and we're in business. So, fun stuff. Pretty simple stuff, but it was just like I said, a little bit of a tizzy. So now we're gonna move on to the next update, which hopefully everything in the spell menu will be working properly, but we shall see. All right, so it's been like a week and a half or so since that last clip that you just saw. Started a new part-time job, and that just kind of was occupying a lot of my time. And it's also the start of a new quarter for my classes. So there's just a lot of things happen. I just really didn't have time to work on my game. I had to put things on the back burner. But past day or so here, I've been able to actually make some progress. So I'll just quickly show you what I've done on the spell menu. So now on the spell menu, we had the equip spell row, and now it's actually functioning to show you what spells you have equipped. So obviously I only have fire spell right now, but it's showing me like, hey, fire spell is on the left mouse button in the UI. And if I was to change the input tag on that, it would move, so I can move it to 1, 2, 3, 4, passive, whatever. It would read that and move it accordingly. I had to do a lot of overhauling to the widget controllers. So obviously I had to create a spell menu widget controller and start broadcasting those delegates, but I had to go back in and rewrite a lot of this stuff to like kind of just add functionality and broadcast those attribute delegate changes. So that had me going into the attribute menu widget controller, overlay widget controller, or widget controller, obviously the spell menu widget controller, which I just made, because I had a lot of placeholder stuff in there, and now I was able to replace it, which just required a lot of finagling. But yeah, also added like gameplay tags or the input tags, obviously. Yeah, that's really all for this like short, quick update. Just I had to take a break, but I'm back on track now, working. We're full steam ahead, hopefully. And I'll see you in the next clip here. As I continue to chug along here with the UI, I have a few updates. So first of all, the spell menu now displays the proper amount of spell points. So when you're level 1, you just have 1 spell point for testing purposes, but when we level up, you'll see that there's 2. And then I've also created the ability for level requirements for spells. So when I level up again, you're going to see that the lightning spell unlocks right here. So right now there's a locked icon, but all that will be replaced here in just a moment. Kill these guys. Go. Got to level up here. Open up the spell menu. You can see I now have 2 spell points, and then this new icon became available to me, showing that hey, the electrocution spell is now available for me to invest in. Haven't created the the ability to actually unlock it yet, but the functionality is there. So here in the ability info, this is where I can set the level requirements now. So level 1, you have the fire spell unlocked already, and then when you hit level 2, the selection for the electrocution spell becomes available. And I also just set the ability tags here in the spell tree, so the game knows like where to display which icons. So right here, the lightning electrocute tag, and then the firebolt tag. Also, I can set the ability info in the game mode, just so it can communicate everything. What else? Yeah, here we go. This is how it's reading the spell points I have and displaying it properly in that widget. Have right here, it's frame value spell points. I just created it as a variable, and I'm setting the text. Nothing too crazy, but yeah. Okay, so before I get too ahead of myself, I think it's time to make a little update for this devlog. I'm just going to show you a lot of things, and I'll try to go in order and talk about them as best I can. But first things first here, these spend point buttons are now grayed out by default, and I created like if and but statements or like edge cases or whatever you want to call it, like selection states, to make it so like, okay, so let's say I don't have a skill point, so I can't unlock anything. So if I select this circle, it says it's also a little feature. The description is now working. Spell unlocked to level 2. And I can't upgrade this spell because I only have the 1 spell point, or I don't have any spell points, so it's still grayed out. But as you can see, when I select it, it lets me equip it because it's unlockable and it's an equipable spell. So I could do that if it wasn't already equipped. Also, I need to make the equip function. I haven't done that yet. Just the buttons there to do it. Hold on, let me try to catch my breath here. I'm talking too fast. I need to slow down. That's what I need to do. So yeah, I'll just show you what happens here when I get a skill point. So level up level 2 here. And I already talked about this last time, but I have like the level, the spell's gated by levels now, so recognize as level 2. I can unlock this lightning spell, which I'm not going to do because I haven't made it yet, so there's no point. There's a lot of placeholder text you're going to see, but I can upgrade this firebolt spell. So right now you can see it's at level 1, has a mana cost of 5, cooldown of 0.5, launches a bolt of fire, exploding impact, dealing 9 damage with a chance to burn. And then this little box right here is always going to show you what the next level is going to do. So the mana cost will come 12.5, but it'll do 10 damage and fire 2 bolts at once. So we're going to go ahead and select it, so unselect. You see I can't spend the point. Select, there we go, and I'm going to spend the point. You see it goes up to level 2 there. The description swapped around. Now it's showing what I can do for the next level 3. And now the spell is level 2. You're not going to see much of a difference with level 2. I think I need to definitely adjust the damage curves and add in that extra firebolt function. I haven't done that yet, but the function's there to do it. So that is cool. And making those selection states, oh, that's my captures. I was trying to pull up my notes off the screen that I made. So I had to go into like the spell menu widget controllers to make all those like if and but selection states. Just kind of like making sure to account for everything the player can do, and when those buttons come available and when they don't come available. So I took care of all of that, and that was just a lot of overhauling the widgets, the UI menu widgets. What am I saying? Doesn't matter. Anyways, so you can see that I'm spending the skill points, so I created a function to do that. Just being called in the spell menu because you saw when I actually used the skill point, it worked. This is the selected globes, setting the tags and everything on the offensive trees. Getting off topic, you don't need to look at this, it's not important. So then here is the spend point button, which I created in C++, that function in there. I'm calling it here. So spam point button on the button, find event, and then call that function. And then this is more like enabled stuff, enabling buttons based on ability to spend points. This is, I'll talk about this later, but it's how I'm setting the text on those description boxes. Actually, let's just go to that right now. We'll jump to that, making the description boxes. So I learned about this new thing called, they're not new things, they're new things to me. I learned about rich text boxes, which so you can like program like it to use certain fonts and certain sizes and certain colors depending on like what you code it as. So I could let me grab, let me show you right here. So scroll box, and my scroll box here I have a rich text box, and I have the text style set to this graph I made, and here you can see I have all these different font styles. So I have defaults, fonts, font for damage numbers, percent numbers, all like different font sizes, color coded, time, mana cost, all that. And the way I'm setting this stuff is in C++ actually. So it knows like so each individual ability has its own C++ class that's derived from the projectile class. So like there's a firebolt class now that I made that just has all this information pre-coded in the proper formatting. Let me show you that. This would be something that's good to show you. So right here, this is just it. It's how like I code the language basically of the description boxes. So like if I want this text to be the title text, I have to do in brackets title because that's what I named it, the text, and then to end that I do brackets with a slash in it, indicating that it's going to be a new line. And then the same thing like calling the small text, all that very boring stuff, but it's just having all of that data in here so the blueprint can just read it real quick. So there's that. Hopefully that makes some semblance of sense. But yeah, it's really just like yeah, it's like a language thing. But any users, there's probably more I should explain. I don't think I will though, because my throat is starting to hurt, and I've been sick for the past couple days. So, but you can see, but you get the gist of the update. Level up is actually working now. I can spend skill points. I have description boxes. Which, like, I mean, these description boxes are really cool. I think just like telling you exactly what it is. Like, it tells you what the level is, mana, cooldown. If there's, like a if it's like an area effect spell and there's like a time, I have like the language coded in for that. Just it's like this UI is really coming along. That's like the main thing. Just all these little steps to kind of keep on building my menus. And plus now we can level up, like for real, and it actually like makes changes, which is super cool and exciting. And woo! All right, welcome back. Now, for the sake of my voice and just this video in general, I'm gonna try to be brief here. But we have a fully functional spell menu. So I'll just kind of show you everything here. Little skill points. Alright, so now, first of all, you can see I can select and deselect things however much I want. I have cancel noises. I had to create a select and deselect function in the overlay widget controllers and apply that to all my spell globes, and then assign ability tags to them and all the rest. You can see right now here, if I spend a spell point, I unlock this spell, and then I can actually equip it. So I have an equip animation here. Kind of notifying like, okay, this is a offensive spell, so you can select any of the globes down here and equip it. So let's just do globe 2, and you can see it also updates my UI there at the bottom. And I can move these globes around however I see fit. So move it down to RMB 3. I can equip here 3. Plays a little noise. Select this, move to the left mouse. Obviously, since these are offensive spells, I can't equip it in the passive slots. So nothing happens there when I click there. You can see here it updates. So I don't have the lightning bolt spell created yet, but you can see here if I left click, it's working. In the top left, you can see the text saying lightning bolt, which is just the placeholder for the spell right now. So there's all that fun stuff. Let's see here. So I can show you the select and deselect feature. Like I said, I'm going to be very brief here. There's a lot of overhauling the widget controllers and making animations and just creating the whole equipping and unequipping, making the code smart enough to be able to recognize, like, okay, I'm swapping abilities around, I'm input mapping to change all of that on the fly for the player. I can just show you some stuff in C++ here. Let me see here. Let me find what am I looking for? The spell globes. That's what I was going for. So you can see right here, these are the deselect and globe deselect functions that I created in C++ here. See it all right here. This is also like show the buttons be enabled, matches the tag, and just all of that fun coding stuff that I don't really understand. Globe selected right here. Stop waiting for info delegates. On back to dependencies, all of that. See right here, the deselect. Let me go back to the event graph here. Globe selected. See it in this one right here. And then, like I said, I made those animations. So in my spell menu here, go down to the designer, collect here. Or no, sorry, it won't be right here. It will be down here. Again, leave these outlines here, just animations. Have one for offensive selection animation. Right there, as you can see. Then the hiding the animation. Passive select animation. Can't really see it because it's hidden, but you saw it in action in the actual menus. And I'm just calling that here in the graph in the spell menu. You can see all my features are here, like the select globe. Where am I calling the animations at? I don't even know at this point, honestly. Doesn't matter. Anyways, you can see it's exciting. I have the fully functional menu. Did a lot more work than I would just showed, but I just honestly don't have the energy to show it right now because my voice is about to explode. But I will see you here soon in the next update, and yeah. All right. So I apologize for that last clip. I was very sick. I'm getting over that now, feeling a lot better. Not going to delete it though, just because I did go over a few things in the spell menu, and that was kind of the wrap up of the whole new work on the spell menu. It's just a very hard thing to explain, largely because it's very based in just like the coding aspect of things. But nonetheless, the spell menu's done, and I can move on to more exciting and tangible, explainable things, at least in how my mind works. So one thing I realized is this is a point and click game, and I was letting you assign a spell to the right mouse button, which you need to look around. And I thought about removing the point and click nature, but I do kind of like the point and click targeting. I think it's different, like a third person game, but it's point and click like this is usually not like that. Or I don't know of like a lot of games like that. I mean MMOs, but so I was like, no, I want to keep like the point and click in because I could have like set the input mode to like follow the mouse around, but then the mouse doesn't appear on the screen because like because like, this is kind of it's set to like a UI mode almost. Um, so then like you can't point and click. Obviously, you can't like target the enemies and fire at them, and you also can't interact with them. Ooh. Oh, okay. Sorry, I can't. I'm I'm working on debuff tags, and I haven't set that one's debuff tag yet, so it just broke my game. But it's okay. It's okay. We just won't fire anything. It's a work in progress. Uh, Oops. We'll just cut right here, and I'll see you real quick. Okay, so before I, oh my goodness gracious, we are accidentally running two versions of that game right now. Okay, no, we're gonna close that. Okay, we're good. We're good. Everything's fine. So before I broke the game because I haven't set the debuff tags on the enemies that I created, I was talking about how I want to keep the point and click nature, and that basically just means that the player can't have a spell assigned to the right mouse button because you need that to drag the screen around and target enemies. So I just reduced the number of slots you have. So now you can just assign a spell to the left mouse button, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Reflected those changes here in the offensive. Wasn't really difficult. Just removed the widgets, removed some input tags, and sized everything up differently. So that was just a small change. I think it's fine. I don't think the player needs that access to that many spells. It also created nature of they have to pick and choose more of what they want to have equipped at all times. So there's that. And then I moved on to simplifying the damage systems. So now I just created a singular scalable float for all the damages in the game, and just to make it easier, honestly, because it was just like looping through a lot of things that it didn't need to loop through every single time I damaged something. So you can see right here, just updated it here. The org damage gameplay ability here, just to cause damage, and then I had to go into like things, everything that causes damage, so like firebolt, swap things out, projectile spell, all that, and then back in my game here. Oh my god, I'm running. How many instances of this game am I running? Okay, it's fine. It's okay. Everything's fine. I had to go into like the damages and redo the damages. So like on my firebolt, I won't show every single damage type, but so my GA firebolt, once I changed the damage types, I had to go in and reassign it. So now this is damage.fire and scale flow to 1. It's using that curve table still, and then it's set as firebolt. So I just did that on my damages. So like on the melee attack, it's damage.physical, and then the physical chart. Anyways, doesn't matter. And then I started going in and adding in the debuff tags, which I haven't implemented yet. That's why I got that crash. But if you can see the gameplay tags here, let me find it. Right here, I added in like resistances. Where did I add in the debuffs? Where did I put them? You'll be down here. Debuffs right here. So debuff to arcane, debuff to burn, debuff to physical, debuff to stun. Because like my fire spell will eventually apply burn to the character. So this is the first step in that process, and I will update you here soon on the next step. Oh, okay. So I just have been super, super lost in the sauce of creating all these debuff parameters on the coding end. Just give you like a quick rundown of what I've been doing. Added in some more debuff tags, things like chance, stun, all those like little things that the player might be able to do to an enemy or might be able to have done to them. Then I went in and I created a function to take in all these new types of debuff parameters, implemented all those debuff effect parameters into it. And then I created the logic to determine the debuffs and then exec calc damage here, which let me tell you, this thing, the exec calc damage is doing a whole lot of work now. So it now like kind of calculates all those debuffs before it even like calculates the damage. So it's taking into account like all whatever resistances or whatever like states it might already have before you even damage, like burning or whatever, if it's vulnerable to something. In this case, like you or the enemy. And you can see all that stuff is being handled here. This is stuff that's implemented before, but like this is my logic here to capture the block chance on target. Telling it if it's a block, half the damage, armor penetration, stuff like that. Ignore percentage of incoming damage. Double damage of critical hit. This is all stuff I've already had in there, but just kind of showing you how the damage logic works in the game. Scroll up here. And so then added in like these tags, the debuff tags that I added. So now it's capturing those here. All that. This is how it's determining the debuff right here. Then determining if there's a successful debuff. All of that, just super boring stuff. And then more on like the gameplay side, or not the gameplay, the blueprint, actual Unreal side of things. I added in resistances for the enemies, basically just taking, because they couldn't really have resistances, or they could have resistances, but I just didn't have them in there. But I didn't have like a way for the game to be calculating it, so there's no point for enemies to have it. But then I just went into their secondary attributes, I copy and pasted the things I had for Elysian. So once the thing loads up here, once the Unreal Engine loads up here, I'll show you that. And then I've just been, in the meantime, I've just been adding in the variables to the effect class. I still have a lot of work to do. I just want to make this little update why I was thinking about stuff. Adding in all this logic here, the debuff damage, all of that into the aura ability types. Then putting in like the rep bits here, which I really don't understand that much. Like I said, I'm just trusting the tutorials, and it's working out so far. I'm assuming it's all going to make more sense to me once it's done. I can actually be working with it in the blueprint editor instead of the coding end. But that was repetitious to sit there and add all of these rep bits and all that. And you can see right here, like, it's like the number of actors, hit results, is it a blocked hit, is it a critical hit, is it a successful debuff, is debuff damage, debuff duration, debuff frequency, damage types, all that. And then, as you can see here now, so these are Elysia's attributes, and I basically just went into the enemy attributes and I copy and paste it, so now they have all these resistances that are determined by resilience. Which, I mean, all of them are. So fire, lightning, arcane, and physical, all determined by how much resilience you or that enemy has, and how much like resistant they are to it. And right now, I'm putting in those coefficients and setting the backing attributes. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep on just chugging along. I'm making these debuff parameters, and hopefully I'll have something more fun to show you here soon. Okie dokie. So we are chugging along with the debuffs. I actually have some exciting things to show now, but before I do that, since the last update, I set up the new variables I was creating in like the system library, attribute sets, and ability types. So all right here, just setting all this stuff. Just a lot of boring coding, whatnot. Just creating the actual debuff function and just taking all those little pieces and putting them together to actually make things work. And then in the exec calc, I actually added like how it's handling the debuff and determining what to do if the debuff is successful. Which is, zoomed out a little bit there. I don't like that. Okay, whatever. I guess my font's now smaller. I don't know how I did that, but whatever. Anyway, so I'll just show you what the exciting thing is. I went ahead and I bumped up, so in my firebolt, I now will be able to set the debuff chance, debuff damage, debuff frequency, all that, and debuff duration. So right now I have 100% debuff chance, so when I fire the firebolt, it will debuff the character and like add like a burn effect. And it's gonna last for 5 seconds, and it's gonna do 5 damage every 5 seconds. So you're gonna see that here. A bunch of little guys that just can't attack me. Fire it out at him. And you can see right there. It's slowly doing the debuff. And now he's dead. Look at that. That is fun. Obviously, I'm going to keep on working on it, but now we actually have the ability to like have a burn debuff on the firebolt. Again, right there. Have the debuff. Boom. Boom. And I really need to change that level up that sound. That's a bit loud, isn't it? But yeah, it's really cool. So obviously critical right there. I will go ahead and set that back down to about 20%, so it's not completely overpowered. And I'll leave all those variables as is right now. I might reduce the damage, like have like 3 damage or something like that. But now you can see 20%. Maybe I'll still get a debuff. No, see no debuff there. But yep, so now the debuff chance, really cool stuff. I'm gonna keep on working. All right, so there's a whole swath of fun things that I'm really excited to show you. Um, just real quick, I added a Niagara effect, a custom Niagara effect class for debuffs, so I could kind of change the parameters and tell when it should and shouldn't appear and when it should be going away, stuff like that. I created a death impulse magnitude, so when a character dies or you die, or like the weapon and all that, it will like kind of have like a knockback effect. They won't just drop down to where they are; they're kind of realistically ragdoll based on like the projectiles that you have, or like melee attack, whatever it is. And then, so I added all that into like the die function. I overhauled the die function a little bit, or a lot actually. Because whenever I was calling die, I'd also make sure I was calling that impulse magnitude and having to calculate that stuff. And then I did that exact same thing, or similar process to create a knockback effect, which is more so just like when you get hit normally, or when you hit something normally and it doesn't die, there's a chance to kind of knock it back. It's kind of a fun little like bounce. And so I'm just kind of show you everything on the Unreal side of things. That's the more fun part, and the part I have a really good grasp on. So first, let me get out. I was setting some blocking volumes. So first, I'm just gonna kind of walk you through one by one. I'm gonna change values of things just for testing purposes. But it's all that everything works together. I'm probably not going to show you it all together, or maybe I will. Who knows? So first, I'm just going to set the debuff chance here. Again, I showed you the debuff working, but I'm just going to set it to 100%. 100% here, just to show you like the burning Niagara effect, which is pretty cool. All right, we get these guys to come over here. Fire firebolt. Oh, okay, that killed it. You can see right there. Have that Niagara effect, it's burning. Over here on these enemies, I also have it. I have the Niagara effect appearing in different spots depending on the enemy. That was fun. Oh. There we go. So that one's head catches on fire. I thought that was fun. On these little guys, it's angled slightly different. Just the fires that kind of fully consumes them. And then, do I have a spear? Or I don't have a slingshot guy running around, but the shamans, they're like mass catchers on fire. The slingshot guys are the same as the spear guys. They catch fire in the same way. And then also, Aura can catch fire too if she gets hit by a projectile spell, like a shaman, which honestly I could probably just show you here. Alright, let's hope he will shoot at me. Okay, well, shoot, he's summoning things. I don't want that to happen. I'd like you to fire your firebolt at me, please. They're not moving because I don't have a nav mesh here for the AI to work. There we go. See, I can get on fire too. So fun stuff like that. So now, I want to go and set that back to about a 20% chance of happening. I will now show you the death magnitude here. So I have it set here. You can set I can set the impulse magnitude. So right now it's 18,000. So whenever I kill something fully, going past here. It's a little wonky right now, but you can see here when I kill this guy. Ooh, okay, you saw a little bit of the knockback, but kind of flies backwards like that. It's a little goofy, a little cartoony, but I think it's fun. this guy as well. So and the big guys, I only have like one magnitude for all the characters, and so I have like 18,000 is fun for the like it's a good number for these guys. Like they fly back about how much I want them to. The big guys go a little crazy, but again, it's fun. I'm not too worried about it. I like it. So there's that. And the same can also happen to the player character Elysia. When she dies, I mean, I guess maybe. Well, we'll set that on her too. Yeah. Hopefully, I will fly back when they kill me. It might take a second to hurt. Well, this is gonna take a minute. You're also seeing, so you're kind of seeing the knockback in effect. So I guess I'll talk about that right now. Just all attacks now applied knockback to the player. It's not a ton. Alright, so yeah, so she flies back a little bit more instead of just dropping down. I have it lower for her. I could actually, I don't know, why not? Let's set it higher. That seems more fun. Let's also do 18,000. Who cares if she flies off the map? Could be fun. Alright, so we'll change that. And then, so you kind of already saw, so I have knockback on me. Let me change the knockback on my attack here, just to get it to 100%, so I'm always doing knockback, because I have it for, I think right now it's about 20%. Yes, knockback chances 20%, but let's do 100%, so every single hit gets knockback. Again, change the knockback force. I have set up 500. I think that's about good. I was setting blocking volumes up so the enemies don't fly off the map. I only have it like right there because it's just a test map, but in the actual game, I'll probably make sure that you can't fall off the map. Because I have like ideas for like you have to kill so many enemies, and I don't want it to like you kill an enemy that falls off the map and doesn't register or something. But anyways, so right now, when you do the firebolt, kind of just knock him back a little bit. Again, it looks silly, but it's fun. I think it adds a lot to the combat. Let's see, can I get a debuff on these? Nah, I didn't get a debuff. I wanted to debuff them so I could show you the mask burning, but so yes, there's that. And also you probably see that Aura now has a little in-air animation, so I have it set up so that she's like falling, she maybe goes, ah, you know, instead of just like T-posing. So right there you can see, we have a little falling animation. It's a little goofy, but it is what it is. That's your setup here. In the event graph, I just created a thing, grabbed character movement, called it as falling, set it, and then in the main state here, called it the in-air animation, played it, set parameters for it, so 2 in air, from running and idle, transition method, set that boolean to true, and then to transition out of it, I set it to is not true. So there's that. I had to like overhaul the melee attack just a little bit. So I used to have a cause damage thing here, and now instead I call the make effect or make damage effect params from class defaults, and then apply damage effect. Just that was me tweaking damage stuff, but yeah. So we've done a lot this devlog. We've really worked on the spell menu. That's like a fully functional thing now. It's really cool. You equip things, move things around. So that changes the input. Now I'm firing it with 1. Really cool stuff. And then all these like fun little combat tweaks just to make it more exciting to fight things. I'm gonna end this devlog here. Hopefully you enjoyed. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next devlog, and thank you for watching so much. I really appreciate it.